Hello, hello, hello. I would have posted by now my little Valentine's Day themed swatcheroonie. Lovely. And for my part 2 of it, roses, you give roses, whatever, but I actually have 6 inks that have the word rose in it, so I thought I'd just do a little, do we call it a deep dive? Do we call it a hyper focus? Do we call it a who knows what? I'm going to swatch 6 inks that have the word rose in it. 2 of them actually have the same name altogether, and I'm going to start with them, which is Rose Quartz. And as I've been doing this, I've been pulling out inks that I want to take or to like give away at the Melbourne Pen Posse meetup. I don't have many bottles, but I do have a bottle of this one. So whether I fill up a nice little chunky vial, I don't know, part of me just wants to actually give the whole bottle away, to be honest. I find this just too light to write with because I use mostly fine and extra fine nibs. But as I have been like kind of enjoying doing lots of like more like flex and calligraphy writing, I think it could look really nice in there. But I don't know if you can see. I'll put the lid on before I do that, hey? Like I just have so much of it. I didn't write in Edelstein, but it's part of that series. I got it at the Pelican Hubs in 2024. But yes, I think I have some inks. Like I don't want to just give ones away that are like, you know, quote unquote crap. That's not the point, but there are going to be inks that like are going to absolutely vibe with some people and that just don't with me. And I just want to be really, I guess, cognizant of that and do what I can to give away. I don't have like a big ink collection, but I try, like if I have people like getting into the hobby or anyone else, like wherever I can try and give away, and then always try and take some to the, well, when I was going consistently to the pen meetup as well. And I put on Discord, I'll just pause for a second, shall I? This is Pen BBS Rose Quartz as well. I just love that, like there can be, ooh, that was a disaster there. Number 1, we're going to have the same thing there. What was I saying? Oh, right. I'm a little bit befuddled today. If you saw my previous video that I filmed on the same day, I had a really intense weekend. So still feeling it. In terms of inks that are going to vibe more to me, it's going to be on this side. Probably no surprise to anyone who's kind of seen really any of my videos. The dirty dark side of things. But I was saying I put in the in one of the threads of the Facebook Fountain Pen Australia Discord, just saying like, is anyone else going? It's in a couple weeks. It's going to be my first time in a few years. I'm feeling like quite anxious about it, and far out, Mother Goose, like people are just awesome. You know, there were some people like, you'll see familiar faces there. Other people were like, I get it. I had the same experience in, you know, Brisbane, for example. Just, yeah, it was so lovely. This is Diamine Cashmere Rose. It was from an ink vent. I've never had an ink vent before, but I must have gotten like the little 10 ml bottle in a Pulp Addiction order. I really liked it. I've actually been really liking this at the moment. My January maybe somewhat short-sighted. In my January currently inked, I'm like, I want to use up vials. I only have a tiny thing left, which I did. But then like not one of those converters was remotely full, right? So I got through them very, very quickly. I think I actually, oh, I didn't film this. I just wanted to do a green exploration because I feel like I should like green a lot more than I do. But I did like a January inked again. And then I had put this in a pen as well, but obviously didn't swatch it. But I really love it. And I love when the name of the ink, like it does, like you can, the feeling of cashmere, right? It's soft and luxurious and warm and decadent. And I can see that in the ink. And I kind of just really love when that happens. There's a word for it, you know, it's like the word pop sounds like what it is, things like that. I just think that's such a gorgeous ink. And I have to say, I like the size of those little mini, like those Inkvent bottles, because it kind of reminds me of like if you're lucky enough ever to like order like a 4 ml sample, you just get that little bit more. It's gonna last you a while, but I don't feel like I'm then like hoarding bottles. This is an ink brand that I've tried a little bit. This one, it's Monteverde's Rose Noir. And the inks I have tried, I really enjoy every single time. This one was sent to me by a couple years ago by pen friend H. Actually, has anyone on here tried the Monteverde Montever? I have spelt this so wrong. Just ignore all of that. The Axis, I'm really interested in, like, it's a really cool looking pocket pen, magnetic cap, love. But where that kind of the section is and that real angular octagonal shape, as like a grip almost, I would just love to know, are people finding it comfortable? Is it uncomfortable? Is it going to be comfortable if you just happen to have the right kind of like finger to palm length ratio? I just look at it and I go, it looks beautiful, but that could either be awesome or an absolute disaster. So I've watched a couple of reviews on it, but it doesn't seem to have been widely reviewed. I'm not sure. I just would, really interested in people's opinions of it. So this is Monteverde Rose Noir. There's the Noir series, which is kind of the darker of the colors. Again, kind of like what I was saying with the Valentine's Day, like, you know, there's a rose in every title name here, and then there's such different interpretations. If I think about rose quartz as the precious stone, the Pen BBS one kind of sings to me a bit more. There's obviously the chroma shading bit there in the middle, but kind of this bit here. I can't tell you how I feel about this one. This one, I don't have too much to say about it. I just, the couple of Monteverde inks I've tried, I've enjoyed. So, yeah. The next one is definitely a favorite of mine. This is my second sample. I went through the first sample. I just think it's such a beautiful color. And it's from Teranishi. It's Opera Rose. Definitely that kind of like muted, dusty, dark pinks and burgundies are my happy place, but I think closely followed by whatever color family we're wanting to call this, orangey. It's not though an orangey pink. It's like quite specifically an orangey dark pink. So it's like amber, brown, copper, sienna. Like always what comes into my head is like burnt umber, but that just sounds quite, you know, Karen from Brighton to say. No one's going to get that joke. let me write it. And then, should I talk about that joke? So, in COVID, and if you were living under a rock, Melbourne had pretty strong. Pretty is an understatement. We had very, very strict COVID lockdowns for quite a while as well. Yeah, like pretty hectic. Couldn't leave 5 kilometers and this and that. And they were always, it was called like stage 4 or stage 3 they were crazy. And then even like as the rest of the world was kind of moving on, we had then like kind of these like quasi lockdowns like after the big wave of COVID. But totally get it. I'm not getting into a open up the economy or not debate. I think it was fine at the time. But then at some point, someone in the media went and interviewed this woman because you could only go for like, you could go outside for like an hour a day and you could only stay within your 5 kilometre radius of your home. And there's a suburb in inner city Melbourne called Brighton, which is like an upper class, like not super wealthy crazy, but definitely upper class, and there'd be people of some wealth there. And then obviously there's that trope of, like someone being a Karen. And they actually did like not a talking head, but just like a straight interview with this woman. Oh, and how are you finding the lockdowns? And the thing underneath says, Karen from Brighton. She's like, there's only so many laps of Brighton you can do. And it just felt so tone deaf. And it's like, people are dying. People like have lost their jobs and can't afford things. And, I'm thinking about at the time, my brother who's a paramedic and working, and, I was on maternity leave for some of it and not for others. And my job was considered essential. And poor old Karen from Brighton, just was getting tired with seeing the same scenery. How did I get onto that? Because I said burnt umber. So why do I love this ink? I love that depending on the nib you put it in, like it's dark enough, but you can kind of tell it can be light. And I love the mixture of the orange and the pink, but it's not like chroma shading where it's like fully split apart. Like they kind of all like melt into each other, which I don't know, I just really dig. I think that's so beautiful. It's probably, I was gonna say it's in my top 10. I reckon it's probably in my top 10 inks. It really is. It's so fantastic. Yep, I'm gonna call it. It's in my top 10. I feel like I've been speaking fast. How long have I filming for? 13 minutes. The last one is an ink new to me. Haven't put it in a pen, haven't explored it that much. Pardon me. What I do know about it is very much on the lighter side, and you can get some really beautiful green chroma shading through it. And that is from Collection Traced, and it's Japanese Rose. And I also believe this is the only Collection Traced ink I have or have ever tried, actually. I obviously went over halfway with my Opera Rose ink there. Now from memory, like as you can see, you put it down and it's kind of that olive green. But then as it dries, this like salmony orange starts to come through. And then when it dries, depending on how it's pulled, you can already now, I'm hoping that's coming through before it's fully dry. Already now it's coming through. And I just think it's beautiful. I think my pen choice for it is gonna have to be, I guess, considered because of the lightness and then chroma shading drier, but I think in the right pen, this could be, is it a Japanese Rose or just Japanese? A really beautiful ink. Has anyone tried it, or does anyone have like a pen pairing suggestion? I just think that's gorgeous, and it just brings those worlds together that I seem to be really liking of the if I'm going to go green, I'm going to go an olive green. And then that's still that muted, warmer, pastel-y, you know, of this realm and this realm before coming through. I want to bring that up closer because even while it's wet, you can really see that's starting to show. Beautiful. So there you go. There you go. That's like 2 videos I've filmed today with like without a massive ramble. So let's see if these end up having more engagement. But just a second part of my little Valentine's Day mini focus. I called this a rose by any other name. We've got Pelican from the Edelstein range rose quartz, which was from one of their Pelican hubs. PEM BBS 178, also named rose quartz. Look at that. Ooh. Cashmere rose from Diamine. Rose Noir from Monteverde. One of my all-time favorites, Opera Rose. And from Collection Traced Japanese Rose. I got the Japanese rose from So and So, which is such a beautiful brand, organization, supplier, shop. Let's go with shop here in Australia, and has some inks that I really haven't been able to find anywhere else. And in my little 2026 pen thoughts video, I was saying whether it's for a birthday present or if I do save up, and I want to place an order, like So and So is very much at the top of my list. So if you have any other Collection Traced recommendations, please let me know, because I might make myself a little list in one of my endless lists somewhere, and start kind of planning, hoping, dreaming, wishing, towards that. So we'll leave it there. That's nice for Valentine's Day, isn't it? I think I'm going to have to put, oh, there's so many here. I think it's going to be a pinky purpley month in February, having just like, now that they're front of mind again. But look at now that it's drying, and then the rings you're kind of getting where they're green, when it dries, it's not that olive green that first comes down, and you can see when it's a bit more blended in the writing sample there, but it's almost got a little bit of like a hint of like a lime green. That makes me just go, oh, ink is so clever. I would love to know how it works, but I am hyper-focused on way too many other things at the moment to start learning about that. I've asked a couple of questions, so I won't say again, leave a comment below, but the question about the Collection Trace, I really would love to know if you've used it in pens and what that matching was, or any other Collection Trace recommendations. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I can't bring myself to say hit like and subscribe in every video. I can't do it. Maybe I'll do it like once every 5th video. So let's count this as 1. It would be great if you could hit like and subscribe. Not so much about the subscriber count, but I guess it gets the videos out there more with the algorithm, which means I get to connect with more people. Like, that is the outcome, which is really awesome. And if you don't want to do that, all good. I mean, it would be great if you don't hit a thumbs down. You can just leave it if you want. But nonetheless, I will see you again soon.